Thank you. The next morning, I got a call from Jungkook with correction. I got a call from Mr. Billionaire Ice King himself at 7 a.m. Sharp, like he had something personal against sleep. Jungkook, be my residence by 10. No, good morning. No, hi Taekook, my fake fiance, and shining light of scream. Not even a tiny emoji to make me feel a little friendly. Click, just like the straight up boss made. 3 hours later, I was standing in front of what I could only describe as a pond. Before I could knock, a smartly dressed housekeeper opened the house door. Housekeeper, Mr. Jian is upstairs. You may leave your belong by the door belongs first. That was bold of her to assume I had more than two suitcases and a dying name Mr. Granny's thanks. I remember as I stepped inside, my eyes went wide. The high ceilings, the real looking out on the walls was that an actual and the suitcase that looked like it belonged in a real place. This place was. If someone had told me a week ago that I'll be moving into a billionaire mansion, I would choke on my instant noodles. But here I was, suitcase in hand, standing in a place looking like a K-drama extra who walked into the wrong seat. Then I turned and saw Jungkook standing beside me, same cold face, same I won 5 companies and feel no emotions expression. This place is ridiculous, I said, staring up at the two-wedding front door. Do you live here or rule it? Jungkook without blinking come inside. We had things to go over. Oh, we do not fancy. The inside of the house was just as extra. The outside marble floor and a textured ceiling so high I thought cloud might float thought, and I didn't even get me started on the kitchen island. It was bigger than my whole apartment. Do I get my own wings or just drunken? I asked why my suitcase in Jungkook. You are take the guest suite upstairs, second door on the left. Rising and up only the guest suitcase. I was expecting at least a hot tub and a tiger. He ignored me naturally. He had already started walking towards uh, what looked like a huge study room, moving like a man about to show me a so on how to ruin my life. I follow him, trying not to look too impressed by how everything in this place screams. Rich people do not use discount. Um, one side he sat beside a plate that a shiny looked like a mirror. He pointed at the chair in front of him. Jungkook said, "Yes, sir," I said, and a dramatic sign and flopped into the seat. Then he leaned forward, looking at me with his usual serious eyes. Jungle, this isn't a game thing. You are in my house now. There will be a rule. I closed my legs, leaning back with a smile. Thinking, oh, rules. How dramatic is this? Where you tell me I'm not allowed to fall in love with you? He didn't react at all. Jungkook, rule 1. Don't touch anything in my study. I look at the expensive looking pen on his desk. Think, what about that one? I asked, reaching slowly towards it. He glared at me. I quickly pulled my hand back. Okay, no fun allowed. Understood. Jungkook rule 2. No inviting guests without approval. That include your loud best friend. Young Ashwad and Jimin. But he is basically furniture. Jungkook no. Rude but fine. Jungkook rule 3. No loud music after 8 p.m. I value my sleep. Yes. Commanded cool. Your sleep is my mission now. I gave him a mock salute. Jungkook, ignoring my drama, and wrote 4. His voice softened just a little, barely. Jungkook, don't make this harder than it need to be. Okay, and that one hit different. I look away for a second. My lip. I was still upset that I had to sign a contract just to keep a roof over my head and help Jungkook fix his image. But I also know I couldn't mess this up. My family need the money, and I needed a new start, even if it come with rude, cold eyes and zero emojis. They got it, I said, this time not joking. Behave. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, eyes steady on mine. Jungkook, I'm not doing this to torture you. Taehyung quietly could be fooled me. He didn't smile, but I swear his expression softened. Maybe by half a minute, Jungkook just need this to work. I nodded slowly. Taehyung, yeah, me too. Other POV moving into Jungkook mansion was not just a transient place, it felt like entering another world for him. It was like stepping inside a dream. He didn't belong in. This place was huge. There was a closet bigger than his old apartment, that dark and inside of it more button than his old microwave. Oh, is this even real? He ran his finger over the sling black curtains, peek inside the cabinet, even press a few mysterious buttons on the smart mirror until it started playing a song in French. Then, oops, oh, I didn't mean to start a concert. He laughed to himself, enjoying. Hello, your hydration level is low. Would you like splunking water? Wait, you care about my water level? You are already nice than half the people I've met in this city. Meanwhile, Jungkook watched from the hallway, arms crossed, head touched slightly. His usual calm expression was mixed with something different. Jungkook thought, he's not just loud, he is full of life. He glowed like sunlight in this cold place. Jungkook hadn't expected this. He thought bringing Taehyung in would have controlled the lights, shaped the story until the gala. But this boy, this of color and warmth, was already his careful built control. Jungkook POV. I had a plan, bring him in, manage the light, keep it clean, but everything was already changing. He moved into the guest suits in 10 minutes, and then he covered in the pulses on the bed, candles on the dresser, and a photo of the thing holding the photo. This is my greenish. He doesn't judge me and he doesn't die on me, unlike some people. Staff member whispering to another, and do we bow to him or ask if he need help? I had someone trip over in pulses. He left outside the door, and me, I found myself standing outside his room that evening, hearing soft music playing that loud, just calming. For a moment, I stayed there just listening, and then I walked away because honestly, I was not sure that what scared me more, this whole plan falling apart, or the truth that part of me didn't want it. the phone and pulled the blanket up my chin. The fairy light flickered softly. The music in the hallway was gone now. The mansion was still, but deep down I felt it. Something was already changing, and maybe so I was right. At the POV, the sun had already risen when the mansion began to feel like a war zone. Only instead of gunfire, it was silence, look, fake smile, and the smell of garlic cooking in the kitchen. Tehang had wake up early, much early than anyone expected him to, and instead of staying in bed or scrolling on his phone, he did what he always did when his heart was nervous, but he didn't want to admit it. He cooked. That morning it was Thai basil chicken and rice, and along with the delicious food he served. This is just breakfast, that's all. I am not trying to impress anyone. I just like cooking, that's it. But his hands were shaking slightly, and he bit his lip as he added extra basil. Jungkook stood outside the door, partly preparing himself. He took a deep breath, adjusting the cuff of his black shirt. His mother had already called him 3 times that morning, one to inform that she and his father would be coming over, twice to remind him that Mrs. Jian on earlier rushing into things is over becoming of John Chongku. Now rested like royalty in the guard lounge, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. John, sat on the white couch, their face sharp and cold, their presence powerful and proud, like the entire John family name sat with them. Jungkook walked in without looking at either of them. You wanted to talk? Mrs. Jian, raising her eyebrows slowly, voice sharp. Is this your idea of a joke, Jungkook? Jungkook calmly, no. Mr. Jian, cutting in quickly. Then Taylor is just a phase, a mistake, a plan your PR team made up to clear your image. Jungkook just tight, voice low. It's not a plan. I am engaged. And there was silence, heavy and loud in its own way. Jian, a cold laugh, escaping her lips, engaged to a man we have never even met. A man with no family background, no status, nothing but a smile and a spatula for what I heard. Jungkook was calm. I study. His name is Taekook, and he is staying here with me. Mrs. Jian coldly. Not for long. Jungkook had curled into a fist, his breath slowly rising and falling. He was ready to speak again, ready to defend the boy who had walked into his life like a storm full of color. But then the kitchen door opened, and in walked Taekook, bright eyes, soft smile, wearing a cute big apron with a beer pants and holding a plate of steaming food in his hand, totally unaware of the ice storm. Sitting in the living room, Taekook cheerfully, good morning. I made breakfast, Thai basil chicken and rice. I hope that's okay. The kitchen smelled too clean, so I thought I would change that. He looked up, finally noticing the two well-dressed, serious people sitting on the couch. He paused. Taekook whispered under his wig, eyes widen. Oh, guest, fancy guest. Jungkook didn't say anything, but Taekook quickly straightened his back and walked over, placing the plate gently on the table. Taekook bowed slightly, politely. Hello, I'm Kim Taekook. Nice to meet you. I hope you like garlic because I kind of went all out. Mrs. Jian is scanning him from head to toe, expression unbearable. Mr. Jian didn't speak. He simply gave a long, hard stare. Taekook smiled anyway. Taekook softly but bravely, I know this must be a surprise, but I promise I am not here to cause trouble. I just really like your son, and I am doing my best. There was silence again, but this time it was not just cold, it was tense. Jungkook stepped beside Taehyung, his presence quiet but protective. He didn't touch him, but stood closer enough that the message was clear. Jungkook family, he's not going anywhere. Mr. Jian lip tightened. Mr. Jian, we will talk later. Taehyung gave a small, awkward smile. His finger nervously touched the hem of his apron. Taehyung whispering to Jungkook as they walked back to the kitchen. Was that your mom? She's kinda scary, like drama movie scary. Jungkook the pants. She's been scarier. Taehyung smile laugh. I'll make cookie that fix everything, right? Jungkook softly smiled, scraping his lips for the first time. Not everything, but it's a good start. Taehyung didn't need a sixth sense to understand what was happening. That moment he stepped into the room, he could feel it in the cold, heavy air, the way Mrs. Jian's eyes narrowing ever too slightly, the way Mr. Jian sat still, looking a status of judgment. But Taehyung did what he always did when faced with coldness. He smiled. Good morning. His voice was cheerful, light. He placed the tray on the table with a bright figure. Since we are family now, or almost, I make a little brunch. He lifted the lid from the steamed dish. Taehyung basil chicken, rice, and few stirred. I promise none of it ate. He checked his own jokes, tried to ease the tension, but the silence that followed made his smile over. Mrs. Jan, how thoughtful, she said, his flat voice, not even looking at the food. Ouch! Taehyung's eyes flickered to Jungkook. He was studying behind him, still and silence. His hands were in his pocket, his face and we were not offering. Mr. Jan finally spoke as he took a bite. Mr. Jan, you cook professionally. Taehyung, I used to run a cafe. Taehyung replied with a soft smile. It was small but really cozy. We had amazing coffee and even better music playlist. Mrs. Jan, a coffee? She repeated like the word tasted bad in her mouth. Mrs. Jian, not exactly the background I imaged from someone tried to join this family. Taehyung smiled, fluttered just a little, but he didn't back down. He leaned forward, eyes warm but steady. Taehyung, good food bring people together, ma'am. That's true everywhere. Whatever you are in a big place or a small food stall, food has his own language. Mr. Jian stared at him, cold and unmoved. Mrs. Jian, and at here you are trying to cook your way into our life in a kitchen apron instead of a real qualification. Jungkook, mom, he said, quality but family. Taehyung, no, it's alright. His voice was calm, but his eyes were sharper now. He looked right at her. Taehyung, I know I'm not what you wanted. I don't come from money or high society, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, so you can enjoy the meal or hold on your pride. There was silence, sharp and thick. Mr. Jian blinked, let it take a peck. Jungkook turned to Taehyung for a second, his eyes unaware, then he looked back at his parents. Mrs. Jian slowly rose, using a napkin to gently grab her lips. Mrs. Jian, you really expect us to approve of this joke? If you must lie to the board, Jungkook, at least choose someone who understands what at stake. Taehyung opened his mouth to reply, but Jungkook stepped forward. His tone was cold and steady. Jungkook, you don't need to approve, just don't interference. Mrs. Jian turned to him sharply, her voice cutting. Mrs. Jian, don't think I'll sit by while you are ruin our name for a little experiment. Author P. The Jian left the mansion shortly after, but the tension didn't leave with them. Jungkook went straight to his office. No word, no thank you, no comfort. Taehoon stayed in the kitchen lounge, folded across his chest. The smell of garlic still hung in the air, calling to his shirt, to his finger, to his heart. His phone buzzed. A message from Jimin. Jimin, how do it go? Taehoon sighed as he typed back. Taehoon, like I served them cake and they smiled while throwing it out behind my back. A moment later, Jimin replied, Jimin, I hate that for you, but also I'm proud of you. Taehoon smiled faintly, then typed again. Thanks, I still kind want to cry, thought Jimin, then crying to Jungkook's answer cry on his rich money pillow. Either way, you win. Taehoon laughed softly, wiping the corner of his eyes. It hurt a little. Jungkook stood by the window in his office and thought lately his gaze was on the garden, but his mind was far away. He couldn't stop replying the scenes. Taehoon had stood there smiling thought rejection, serving kindness like it was armor. He had stood his ground, firm, graceful, and unshaken. He had handled his parents better than Jungkook ever had, and yet Jungkook felt trapped. The weight of the Jeonnam pressed on him like chains. There was too much at stake: his legacy, the future of the company, his public image, $1 billion, and in the middle of it all was Taehoon. Beautiful, kind-hearted Taehoon. Sunshine is a storm, laughing, cooking, bring life into his mansion like he belongs there. Jungkook told himself it was too dangerous to care, too risky to fall, but deep down he already had, and that scared him more than anything. Jungkook whispered to himself, "You were not supposed to matter this much," but Taehoon did, and no amount of silence could deny it. The day before Gala arrived like a storm dressed in glitter. Jungkook mansion buzzed with noise and motion. Stylists, assistants, and event planners swarming the place like busy bees in designer clothes. The quiet living room had turned into a wild fashion studio. Suitcases and groundwear hanging on chairs. Tables were covered in jewelry boxes and instead of coffee cups there was a pile of fabric and pins everywhere, and in the middle of the mess, Taehoon, shirtless and dramatic, completely refusing to wear anything that made him look like a sad groom at a boring wedding. Taehoon, hobby, these things is shocking me. Is this 15 or an he could have the hobby holding a clipboard in one hand and a pair of high heels in the other like weapons, and loudly Hobby said, "You agreed to be someone's fake fiancé, Thay. That means you signed up for all this drama." Taehoon grown drama I can't handle, but in see fabric and choking collars, this just evil, and why can't I wear skin and I look good in being the couch, his eyes on his phone because Uncle said, and I quite this is a gala, not a. Taehoon rolled his eyes and never I'd rather walk in wearing glitter and confidence than being sadness. Just as Taehoon rises his hand to pull out, so his opinion to be in the room suddenly quiet. Jungkook had walked in, perfectly dressed in a dark navy suit, his hair slightly smooth, a phone dress in his ears, and that always serious expression on his face. Taehoon half dressed with button undone, turn and rise and eyebrow. Do you own any color other than business fanny? Jungkook looked up from his phone and frozen. The stylist had just adjusted the waist on Taehoon's textile jacket. It was color with soft gold embroidery and the way it's helped the home frame. And where his dark hair was finely gently over his forehead, lips slightly parted in a pot, and his skin glowed under the warm light like smooth cream. Jungkook cleared his throat quickly and looked away. He spoke into the phone voice low, "I'll call you back." Beam whispered loudly from the couch, "One of you is definitely falling in love and is not the one with abs." Jungkook tried it to ignore the comments and stepped forward, eyes back on Taehyung. Jungkook said, "You are weird, that one." His voice was short but quieter than usual. Taehyung blinked. "So I can't wear, but I can have golden on my chest." Jungkook looked like he wanted to argue, but instead he sang. Jungkook said softly, "It suits you." Their eyes met, and for a moment the busy room disappeared, just them standing still like something in their heart had stopped time. Then the spell broke. Yoongi and Jimin entered, both dressed like they walked out of a fashion magazine, holding coffee cups and laughing. Yoongi said loudly, "Well, don't you two look like a Pinterest wedding board?" He flopped into a chair like a king returned from battle. Yoongi added, teasing. Jungkook blinked twice. "If Taehyung's presence is making our business fall." Jungkook replied, "Try to stay calm. Only my patience." Jimin smiled warmly at Taehyung, stepped closer and giving him a gentle once over. Jimin said, "You look amazing, baby. If anyone at that gala doesn't believe you two are engaged, they are likely behind wind coming from you. I'll take it." Yoongi leaned closer to Jimin, voice playfully. Yoongi whispered, "If I pretended to be someone's fake fiance, will you compliment me like that too?" Jimin raised an eyebrow, smirking. "If you fake a personality, maybe." Beam burst out laughing. Hobby tried to stay serious but couldn't hold back her giggle. Taehyung laughed, clearly enjoying the moment. "Yoongi, you are gonna need more than scream to win Jimin over." Yoongi grinned proudly. "I'm playing the long game. One day Jimin will fall for my endless charm." Jimin smiled sweetly. "I'll let you know if I find a cliff to jump off."